Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session with our trial docket. First case that we're calling on the trial docket is cause number 325641. The case is filed in the state of Texas versus Eduardo Flores. Eduardo Flores is present via Zoom. And Eduardo Flores is present with his attorney, Mr. James Paget. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
We're both present.
Now, Mr. Paget, is your client, Eduardo Flores, waiving a jury trial in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And state, you have any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Porter, would you turn that around? Put it up some for us. Okay. Now, Mr. Paget, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. We're ready to proceed.
State, are you ready?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Okay. State, would you please read the information?
Yes, Your Honor. The state of Texas versus Chris Eduardo Flores. This is a misdemeanor charge of assault, family violence, class A misdemeanor. The information reads, in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the state of Texas, and presents in and to the County Court at Law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Chris Eduardo Flores, hereafter styled the defendant, heretofore on or about January 12, 2020, did then and there intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly cause bodily injury to another, namely Julian Garcia, hereafter styled the complainant, by hitting complainant in the leg with a belt buckle. And at the time of said assault, complainant was a person with whom defendant has had a dating relationship against the peace and dignity of the state.
Chris Flores, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay. State, would you like to make an opening statement?
State waives this opening statement, Your Honor.
And Mr. Paget, would you like to make an opening statement?
We'll waive our opening, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, you may call your first witness.
State called Julian Andrew Garcia. Julian Andrew Garcia.
No response. State, you have any other, you call your next witness?
No further witnesses, Your Honor. State rests.
Mr. Paget?
Your Honor, at this time, the defense would move for an instructed verdict and ask that the defendant be found not guilty.
That motion will be granted, and the defendant, Chris Garcia, is found not guilty of these charges. I will be signing a judgment to that effect in just a few minutes. And Chris, you have been acquitted. This will conclude your case. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. And
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Paget, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too.
Next case is clause number 320439. The case is style of State of Texas versus Troy Joseph Dore. Mr. Dore is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Dore's attorney, Mr. Bruce Smith, is appearing in court. State, are you ready to proceed?
State's ready, Your Honor.
And defense, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, you're ready.
State, you may read, well, first of all, Mr. Smith, is the defendant, Mr. Troy Dore, waiving his right to a jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor, he is.
And State, you have any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. State, you may proceed with the reading of the information.
The State of Texas versus Troy Joseph Dore, cause number 320439, misdemeanor charge for assault, family violence, a class A misdemeanor. The information reads, in the name by the authority of the State of Texas, comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the State of Texas, and presents in and to the County Court at Law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Troy Joseph Dore, hereafter styled the defendant, heretofore on or about August 19th, 2018, did then and there intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly cause bodily injury to another, namely Heather Marshall Dore, hereafter styled the complainant by pulling complainant's hair, and at the time of said assault, complainant was members of the same family and household against the peace and dignity of the state.
Mr. Dore, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Mr. Dore, can you hear me? Mr. Dore, can you hear me? Mr. Dore? Troy Joseph Dore?
Let me text him.
Okay. Mr. Dore, can you hear me? Mr. Dore, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may have to, hold on a minute. The state is going to read the information. Go ahead on, you may proceed, State.
The State of Texas versus Troy Joseph Dore, cause number 320439, on a misdemeanor charge of assault, family violence, class A misdemeanor. The information reads, in the name and by the authority of the State of Texas, comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the State of Texas, and presents in and to the County Court at Law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Troy Joseph Dore, hereafter styled the defendant, heretofore on or about August 19th, 2018, did then and there intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly cause bodily injury to another, namely Heather Marshall Dore, hereafter styled the complainant by pulling complainant's hair. And at the time of said assault, complainant was members of the same family and household against the peace and dignity of the state.
Mr. Dore, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay. State, you'd like to make an opening statement?
State waives its opening statement, Your Honor.
Defense?
We waive our opening, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, you may call your first witness.
The state calls Heather Marshall Dore.
Heather Dore. No response. Do you have another witness, Mr. Johnson?
No further witnesses, Your Honor, the state rests.
Now we
Defense?
move for instructed verdict of not guilty.
Okay, that motion will be granted. Mr. Dore, you have been acquitted of these charges. You've been found not guilty of this charge. I will be signing a judgment to that effect that your attorney will be receiving in court, showing that you are not guilty of these charges. Now, the next case is cause number 329389. State, what is your position in this case?
The state will be moving to dismiss that case, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Dore, cause number 329389, the other case will be dismissed, and I'll be signing the dismissal in a few seconds. Mr. Dore, this will conclude your cases. Stay in contact with your attorney. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You do too.
Yeah, we could-
Yes, do you want a copy of the dismissal and the instructed verdict?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Here you go.